Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Edna, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. Today I'm filming on my phone again, so I'm hoping it's not too bad. It's like weird to look to the side now because that's where the lens is, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. Today I wanted to give you guys some news. I kind of made this decision like a month and a half ago, but I really wanted to share because time flies and the time will come when certain videos will be dedicated to this, you know? So, as some of you know, I dropped out of law school 2 years ago now. Like around this time was when grades came in and I knew I didn't make the 3.0 GPA requirement. Mind you, I had like a 2.7 or something like that. So I wasn't even that far off, but law school goes on a curve, and so half the class does fall below a certain level. But the school that I was at was definitely one of those that is very predatory when it comes to scholarships. And there was like a lot of issues, right? I decided not to go back, and I am actually very happy that I didn't go back to that school. But a few things have happened that have made me realize I do want to go back. And I kind of use this time to try to push myself out of my comfort zone. And you know, I went into an interpreting program, and I might take the state exam to be a court interpreter, but actually California canceled that exam for now, so it's been paused. And I'm working as a paralegal, so I'm back in the legal field. I've been doing my best to shake myself up and see if that dream is just part of the past, and there's new goals and whatnot. And actually, there kind of is and there kind of isn't. So here is the tea. I am planning, not for this upcoming cycle in this fall, but next year in 2022, I don't even know the year. Ooh, girl. So I am planning to apply into an MSW program through TitleIV-E, and that's basically a master's in social work. So it would be to become a social worker. And at the same time, I will also be submitting an application into a JD program, meaning I will be applying for law school. Now, let me give you guys a breakdown. TitleIV-E is something that was passed years ago, and it allows for a person to get their master's paid for if they go full-time, not working for the county, or they can go part-time if they work for their county, like me, and their master's is paid for as long as they give 2 years of service to the social welfare system. Meaning I would work for DFCS as a social worker here in this county, or actually in any county, right? So that's actually a really good deal. To have your master's paid for only 2 years of service. A lot of programs, they'll give you loan forgiveness, but that comes after 10 years of service, which is the case for law school. So it's a really, really good opportunity. And to be honest, I worked with social workers, so I know a little bit of what they do, and it is very, very appealing. Mind you, I originally went to law school to become a public defender. And then I quickly realized I wanted to be a public defender working with youth. I didn't know if I wanted to work in the education system or in the criminal justice system, just in the juvenile court. But as a social worker, I could kind of be in both areas. I want to work with youth, but I don't want to work with them for a super long period of time. I don't know if you guys get me, but I just want to help them with the issue that they're working on right now, help them get resources, and then have them, you know, thrive. Maybe stay in contact, but thrive and grow and become, you know, like the happiest people they can be, and just have everything they need to be successful in their own way. For law school, I would apply into a part-time program like I would for the MSW. Now, there are a few, all of them have denied me in the past, but your girl is gonna try to get back out there and apply. It could be that I only get into one program and then I don't have a choice. But if I apply to both, I think my chances will, you know, I'll have options, and that's what I want, honestly, in my life right now. So let's talk about what happened. Like, what made me change my mind? There was a few different things. One of them is I started volunteering at a legal clinic at a local law school, and there was a few things that I was like, I don't like this. And it basically tied back to the type of service that was being provided to the potential client. I'm sure they're trying, but I quickly have realized that as an interpreter, because that's my position in my volunteer work, that I'm very, very limited. And I actually did have one of the attorneys in the legal clinic call me out because as they were doing some research, I was on the phone, they looked up a code and I looked it up as well because as an interpreter, I need to be able to translate, right? And they called me out and they were like, let's leave the research to the student. And I was like, I wasn't doing research. I was just telling you that this code is not going to work for this person, so you can give the student a different alternative. And I just got in my feelings because I was already thinking of like it might be time to start studying for the LSAT. Like, do I want to apply this fall in 2021, or do I want to apply in 2022? Like, I was already having that thought process. But but this situation in particular was one of the things that pushed me over, where I realized this is my dream. This is what I want to do. I want to go to law school and help people through the legal field. And I'm seeing that I'm very, very limited in what I'm doing as an interpreter and as a paralegal as well. So why don't I just go to law school? Mind you, I know there's other options and I know I can continue helping and working through what I'm doing now. But why not try? Why not apply and try to take that step forward? So that's what pushed me for law school. For social work, it was a combination of different things. I'm friends with different social workers, and I've seen how easy it is for them to transfer through the system. And to be honest, 2 years flies. So I do see myself working for the county for a really, really long time, maybe spending my entire career with them in different job positions. But just the security that comes with that job and the ability to help as a bilingual individual, I honestly think I can do a lot of good work directly. And that's part of my issue right now, that I'm so far removed, but I crave that interaction with the person I'm helping. I want to be able to get in touch with my empath part of myself and feel for them. Do you get me? And have that push me to grind harder and hustle and, like do the most I can to provide resources for people. It's not like you're their voice or you're this or you're that. It's that sometimes people just need a little bit of help. And as soon as they get that little bit of help, they're good. So I definitely have a different perspective than when I first went to law school. And so I do think that becoming a social worker might push me in much more ways than going to law school or becoming an attorney would. So I have two options that I'm very, very interested in. And that's why I'm choosing to apply to both. So let me give you guys the breakdown of what my plan is, and then I'll talk about cost and shit. So my plan is to continue working for my current employer. Hopefully, I haven't passed my 9-month probationary period, but girl, I'm working hard. So I'm hoping that they're not going to let me go anytime soon. So the hope would be I can continue working full time and then go to school part time to whichever program I get into. Mind you, I think originally I thought that law school was just going to be the end all be all. But I think if I went to law school, I do think that eventually I would want to go back for that MSW and become a social worker, because I don't see myself staying in the same job for more than 5 or 10 years. You get me? And I just love to work. I know it's such a horrible place to be at, because, that doesn't define us. Like, work and capitalism and just this mentality of grinding isn't everything. But I love to be busy and to be doing things and just, it just gives me life. So regardless whichever program I end up choosing, it's not it for me, because I do see myself doing both things. I just don't know which one will come first. But let's talk about cost, because things are expensive. And to be honest, going through TitleIV-E would be the most financially savvy move. But if I get into a part-time program in a law school, I'm gonna go, because at this moment, I don't have kids. I don't have a partner. I don't have anything tying me down. And that could change between now and going to law school, right? But if once I'm in, I'm in. And so if I get into both, I'll probably choose law school first. But let's talk prices. Law school is expensive, very expensive. Almost all law schools in the US charge about 50 grand a year. You heard me right. 50 grand. That's a lot of money. And honestly, I do think it's a messed up, elitist system where it's really, really hard for first generation students to get to certain careers because of how expensive and how hard the process is. Becoming an attorney is incredibly hard, incredibly expensive, and most people get loaded with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. So here comes to why I think the part-time program would be best. Unless I get into a T14 school, I'm gonna go into a part-time program. And honestly, that's fine. I need to pay rent. I need to do all these things, and I am learning so much from my job. I'm in a job where I do think it would be beneficial for me to stay for a few years while I'm still in law school. It'll still end up adding up to like 50 grand a year, but I would be able to continue working part-time. Mind you, maybe I'll change my mind, but I don't see that happening. So there will be debt on the legal route. That's just inevitable because my parents aren't rich. I'm not, a trust fund baby, and I didn't marry rich or anything. So that money will have to come from somewhere. So it'll probably be loans. And that's okay because I do have faith in myself that the job I'll end up picking will allow me to either go through a forgiveness program or to pay it back, right? There's different routes that I would take. And then the cost for an MSW is drastically lower, which is crazy because social workers in Santa Clara County are making, I think starting they make between 90 and 95,000. Girl, I can live with that. I can live with that type of money. And I'm in San Jose, so our local college, San Jose State, is a feeder program into the county, right? So meaning they prep you hard because the social workers in the county are super overworked and they quit a lot. Like I've heard horror stories of people leaving at lunch and never coming back. And mind you, I just think it depends, like you need to know what you're getting yourself into. You can't just go in there because of X, Y, and Z. Like you need to know what the job entails. At San Jose State, the cost I believe is about $12,000 a year. It might be $18,000. I'll put it right here, but it's under 20 grand a year. And I would go through the part-time program, so it would take me longer. It would take 3 years, but that's fine because I would be working, right? And actually a lot of people do that. They're working for the county and they're getting their MSW at the same time. So that wouldn't be like super rare or uncalled for or whatever. And I think working as a paralegal, I would think that the attorneys and whatnot also think, a paralegal might be going to law school at the same time, and it's not uncommon. So, but like I mentioned earlier, the MSW route has something called TitleIV-E that would allow me to get the master's paid for, which would be amazing. And it would be, I think, a cleaner route. But honestly, at this point, I think I'm at a place where I'm excited to get back out there and I'm gonna do it differently this time. So I'm not too scared about the cost because I know the benefit that it will bring to me professionally, financially, and just for myself as a person. So those are the two options that I have that I'll be applying for. God willing, I'm alive, everything's good. I'll be applying. I'll be preparing for that like in these upcoming months, and I'll apply in fall of 2022. Things that I think I will do differently is not rush it. Like this year, I still feel like things are moving fast and we're still recovering over, so much suffering and pain and loss that we've gone through this year. So I'm not going to rush myself. I think when I first applied fresh out of college, I was in such a rush to go straight through. And I made choices thinking, well, that's a means to an end. And sometimes that journey is just as important as the end. So this time around, I'll definitely do more research. I'll be more patient. I'll prepare a lot more and make sure that the support I get is from people that are knowledgeable in those fields and can really, really help me out. You know, I won't be blindly applying like I have in the past. I just feel more prepared. And I'm older and I'm more mature and a little wiser, not that much more, but a little bit. So yeah, it'll be a journey, and I just wanted to share it because some of you may be interested in taking the same route, and I am definitely here to, study alongside some of you, or talk about the drama or cry, or like there's a lot, because it will be emotionally draining to be applying to two grad programs, but they're two things I'm interested in, and if I don't have to pick, I won't. I will apply to both and then see what happens. So yeah, just to let you guys know now, it is early. I won't be studying for the LSAT until later on, like in the summer. I think at the end of the summer would be a good time for me to start studying. And then I'll do I'll start looking into the applications now, but not submit, just so I can get an idea and start prepping and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun and time will fly. Like, things will come fast. We're already halfway through the year, so yeah, there's a lot. And I've kind of mentioned it to my parents, like, oh, I'm gonna start looking into studying for the LSAT, and it just like goes right through their head. I think for them, they need something more concrete of like, oh, I just submitted my law school application, or like, hey, I just got admitted into this school or this or that. So yeah, but I know they love me and support me in all ways, so I'm not worried about that at all. But yeah, I'm excited for this new journey. I'll probably still take like a month or two right now to not even like think about anything. I'm gonna go with it, but I've like started telling a few people. So I was like, you know what? Yes, like I'm just gonna share it. Like, it's fine. I'll share it with my YouTube family. And now I feel like I'm not keeping this big old secret. That's weird, huh? Like, I was feeling like I was keeping this huge secret. Like, oh, people don't know. And now I'm like, now I shared. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Like, it was like a little mini update. And yeah, if you have questions, please let me know. You can comment down below, DM me, email me. Everything's down below in the description box. I will end the video now, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day, evening, lunch, whatever, like wherever you guys are ahorita in the day. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Mwah.